Hello everyone! In today's video, I want to unpack my new box of MIYA gouache and use it to make a landscape. This box contains 56 colors, 30 milliliters each. Every little container has a tinfoil lid to prevent paints from drying. Peeling those lids is not the easiest task, and it is also pretty messy. After opening 3 containers of paints and filming it, I give up. Those tiny lids are kinda hard to peel with my nails, so I decided to try something else. It is me struggling here. I opened 3 containers, which means it is 53 more to go. As much as I like this gouache, I just can't stand opening every tiny container. Look at my fingers. I got a chunk of blue paint under my nails already. So my husband came up with an amazing idea on how to fill all 56 containers without getting all messy, and it is by using pliers. Here's my little hero. Look at all the beautiful colors. So I wanted to point out some colors that I found interesting. MIYA gouache has some neon colors like this one, very bright and vibrant pink. Speaking of pink, these 2 colors look identical to me. Maybe the left one is slightly darker. Also, look at this bright green color. It is a neon color as well. This yellow is also neon color, but it is really hard to see on camera. What I really like about this box is 2 whites, which is the most frequently used gouache color. But if you use gouache too often, you probably have a huge container of white gouache already. I do. I tried to put it back in the box nicely and make it look like a rainbow, but something went wrong. Maybe it's a rainbow from parallel universe. You never know. And we are done. Alright, let's test it. I decided to paint something easy, like a landscape from a reference. It is a no-brainer for me because I paint a lot of landscapes. So while doing this, I can concentrate on my new paints and not think about the painting itself too much. I like to make a line art with colored pencil. It is not necessary for gouache, but I just like what it looks like. By the way, I will link a reference picture in the description box. It is another landscape picture from the Pinterest. Nothing fancy. It is time to color. I already love the bright colors of this gouache. The best part of new gouache is you don't need to mix it with water too much, because it's already pretty moist. You just put some on your brush and paint. This palette has so many interesting colors, so it saves time on mixing colors yourself. I just want to suggest you not get lazy with these paints and use only pre-made colors, especially if you are a beginner. Or do what you want? Who am I to tell you, right? I really like that colors don't change on the paper. I don't have to swatch it on my palette before applying to paper. I have to admit, this box is huge and pretty heavy. Don't even think about taking it with you somewhere. You will probably need a lot of free space on your table in order to use this big boy. Or a girl? MIYA sounds like a girl's name to me. Right now I paint with slightly dry brush. It gives brush strokes this really nice texture. This is probably why I choose gouache over watercolor. You can make it look like gouache or watercolor, and the best part is with gouache you can easily fix your mistakes. I got obsessed with the blue color recently. For a long time my favorite color was green, and I used a lot of green colors in my paintings. I wonder what color will be my next favorite. Hopefully red, because I have tons of red paints. They also put a lot of beautiful shades of green in this box, and I can't wait to try them all. Maybe my next painting will be a forest, so I have an excuse to use a lot of green paint. Oh, quick warning. My painting might look a little bit orangey because of the time of the day, but I will put final result in the end of the video so you can see true colors. Painting landscapes became a very relaxing hobby for me, and I can definitely give some tips on how to paint landscapes. I usually start with big splashes of color, like blue for the sky and water, green for hills and plants. Don't put tiny details at this point, because if something will go wrong, you can easily fix it with another layer of paint on top. Usually I start with medium colors, not too light, not too dark, because it will be easier when you will decide to add more layers to it. Light colors won't get too dark, and dark colors won't be affected either. I enjoy bright colors of the reference, and I'm happy that I can easily recreate those colors with my new gouache. Usually I use Pinterest to look for inspiration. I know almost every artist is doing it these days. Sometimes I try to take pictures of inspiring things myself and paint them later, but for some reason I'm so bad at taking good pictures. I guess being a good photographer is not as easy as it seems. Alright, let's go back to painting. I'm going to paint white rock, and I wanted to talk about shadows. If you don't know what color you should use for your shadow, look at the sky. Shadows tend to have same colors of our atmosphere. That's why most of the time they're slightly bluish. In my case, the sky is blue and purple, so I use purple for my shadow. Not exactly the same color as the sky, I just mix this shade of purple with the color I use for my stone. After you're done with big splashes of color, you can take a smaller brush and start adding details. Start with big details and leave tiny details till the end. I also add white details in the end because before adding white details, I clean my brush so I can get pure white color. I guess this is it for painting tips. The landscape I chose for painting is pretty simple, so I don't even know what else I can tell about it. One of my other recommendations is a ceramic palette. You can get a ceramic palette in the art store or use a regular white plate. I found mine in the Goodwill for $2 and I'm very happy with it. Unlike plastic palettes, a ceramic palette doesn't soak in all the colors, so it's super easy to keep it nice and clean. The only downside is its weight. It's a bit heavy, so not a very good option for plein airs. Unlike the sketchbook, it is nice and small. The paper is not acting weird when I use water on it. I was thinking about buying even smaller sketchbook that I can take with me everywhere, but I'm not sure yet. I love putting a lot of details in my artwork, but I'm afraid that it will be harder with a smaller sketchbook. I don't know if you can see it, but the sun is so bright. I was melting while painting this. It is crazy to me how hot it can get in December. I love painting with natural sunlight. I can't explain it, but for some reason it inspires me a lot. We are almost at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this time with me and my best friend's sketchbook. I really love this gouache. I would buy it again in the future, I think. If you're looking for good gouache, give it a try. Or not. Do what you want, eat good food, sleepwalk, and do art, of course. I'm adding some final details, and my painting is done. It took me about an hour to finish and film this piece. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I will see you soon. Bye!